Hi, this is Mark Lucenius from Project 938, and today we are talking about apprenticeship. We think apprenticeship is essential for a church. We're going to talk about why, how to make it great, and how to give the tasks of leading the church to the next generation. Let's talk about why we want to do this. First, we believe that it is strategic. Churches that grow and churches that can be effective from generation to generation have learned to give the tasks of leading and serving the church from one generation to the next. Secondly, we believe it is practical. When we involve students in apprenticeship, we get more people on the field, and the more people we can serve, that means the more people we can care for. And we believe deep down, our ability to grow as a church is based upon how many people we can care about. God will give us as many people as we can effectively care about. And third, it's fun. Nobody likes to serve alone, and even better if we can serve with somebody who maybe listens to a different radio station than we do. All right, let me talk about how to have an effective apprenticeship experience. This could be on a Sunday morning, a Wednesday night, or any kind of opportunity where there's an adult and another adult as an apprentice, or an adult as a student as an apprentice. There's 5 parts to an effective apprenticeship experience. First, there's the check-in. When the two of you get together, check in. Make sure you guys are on the same page. Make sure everyone's doing well. Secondly, the second step is you want to know the win. When you guys are going to be serving, you want to know, what does it look like to succeed? So that could be if you're serving, handing out bulletins or greeting. Is it just giving people a piece of paper, or are you trying to find as many names as you can? Are you trying to encourage people to have a warm experience while here at Project 938 on a Sunday morning? Third step is this: you want to make it happen. And that means that whenever we serve with gusto, we serve with enthusiasm, we bring the warmth and energy every time we serve. So whether you're the adult or the leader or the student, you're there to make it happen. And number 4 is this: we make it happen together. That means that you guys are figuring out how to do it together, not just the leader getting it all done or the leader sitting on an armchair. You guys are making it happen together. And 5th, you want to celebrate the win. You want to know what the win is, but finally, when you see it happen at the end of it all, you want to encourage one another as to, well, hey, this is what I saw you do, and this is what I thought was really, really great about today. All right, now let's review that for the adults or for the leaders, all right? So what does it look like for you to be adults and practice these 5 steps? First, you want to check in. An easy way to check in with a student, we do this in 938 Kids, is ask, what is your high of this past week? What is your low of this past week? And what is your buffalo of this past week? They say high, low, and buffalo. The buffalo is simply, what surprised you this past week? It's something you can share within 60 seconds with your student or your apprentice. Secondly, you want to review the win. You want to make sure that we know exactly what's going on, and leaders, you need to know this and make sure your apprentice knows this as well. Third, you got to go and make it happen. And when you're going to make it happen, leaders, you want to make sure your apprentice has enough space so they have opportunity to make it happen also. Fourth, you want to see what happened. Leaders, you need to make sure that whatever you and your apprentice is doing, you're doing it well, and you're doing it with excellence, and you're cleaning up after what you're doing. And then finally, 5th, leaders, celebrate the wins. Make sure you encourage. If you have somebody new to the task, you know what it's like to be trying something new, and maybe you don't think you're doing well. Make sure you catch them doing right things. And finally, students or apprentices. All right, 5 steps look like this. You want to check in. Do the high, low, and buffalo, and that means not 17 minutes on why your math teacher's so lame, all right? I got a little stopwatch. You can do this in a minute. And students, apprentices, make sure you can check with your leaders. What's their high, low, and their buffalo? Secondly, review the win. Make sure you know what you're supposed to do. You got to stay in your lane, bro. And so make sure you know exactly what you are supposed to do and what success looks like. Third, apprentices, go out and make it happen. This means take initiative. You have an idea, bring it to the leader, bring it to the ministry director. Take initiative and make sure you succeed. Make sure you're getting involved. Make sure you're not just watching somebody else do it, right? And then 4th, see what happened. Go back and look and make sure you did a good job. Follow up on whether you worked with people. Did they like the way you interacted with them? Did you work in the cafe? Did you clean up after what you're doing? Is everybody happy at the end of the day? Check on that. And then finally, celebrate the win. When you see something that God did, if you see somebody else who did something really great, celebrate that, encourage them, catch them doing right things. All right, so that's the 5 stages to make a great apprenticeship experience. I want us to look at the goal of this whole thing. The goal of this whole thing is not just to get everybody else to do it so we can take it easy. No, the goal of this is that every single one of us in the church are all working our way out of a job. That's from the pastor to the preschool. Everybody's working their way out of a job because eventually the church is going to be somebody else's. So that means we have 5 phases, and these phases could take days, it could take weeks, it could take years. But the first phase is this. The leader does, the apprentice watches, and then the 2 of them talk. I do, you watch, we talk. Step 2 is this. The leader does, the apprentice helps, and then the 2 of them talk. Step 3 is this. The apprentice does, the leader helps, and then they talk. You do, I help, we talk. Finally, you do, I watch, we talk. The apprentice does it, the leader watches, and then they talk. But we're not just done there. Once we've gotten this right, we've fully empowered the next generation to take responsibility. Then that person finds their own apprentice. And in that situation, you do, someone else watches, and then the 2 of you talk. As we do this and as we practice this, as we build this into our culture, what this means is that more and more people get to experience how good it is to serve and be a part of the body of Christ. That's why we believe in apprenticeship, and that's why we're going to make it happen.